Hey there team, and welcome to a 3v3 on the Pelennor Fields again. Just catching sight of, well, it's quite hard to miss it, but looking at Minas Tirith in the background. I've not yet played a battle on Minas Tirith. I know we can do that right now. This battle will be coming out in the at some point while I'm away though, so that's probably some very old news. Probably the hotfix has come out by now. But anyway, playing as Misty in the open field, which is not something I usually like to do. It's usually something I find very nerve-wracking. I love to play them in a siege, but in an open field, I always just worry. Out front, I've got my two heavy goblin archers, and in the centre, some standard goblin archers. They're backed up by the heavy goblin spear battle line, and then some snagga skirmishers. White Orc fearmongers there. Want to keep them very far back from the front line. Do not want them to take fire. Heavy goblin infantry there, heavy goblin infantry, more, and some standard goblin infantry. Then heavy goblin crossbows, two of them no doubt, yep, good. And then some more goblin infantry. Berserkers, Goblin King bodyguard, and some berserkers there. Well, the black back mountain berserkers. And then I've got 2 units of cave trolls as well. I believe my adversary is an Erebor. That's why there's a heck of a lot of AP in my army. My first ally is Claudio Sands, I guess, and he is also playing as the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. He's got his crossbows right at the front though, with his White Orcs on the left flank. He's gone for the Mountain Orc host though, to make up the main line, and the halberds somewhere on the line. He's grabbed the Bolg's champions, that's where he's put his general today, and pulled his crossbows back. Actually, no, we'll have a gander over his formation afterward, but anything fancy that we're seeing? No, some wargs. I lack wargs today, which is a bit of a change for me. King Rez is our last ally. My voice is dying out. I recorded 2 of these videos today, but I really need to just make sure I've got enough content. So it doesn't hurt though, but my voice is just maybe fading. We've got the Black Watch Legion, some Gundabad Guard, and some Guardians of Carndum. The Hammer Guard there, and some Trolls of Gundabad. Over on the far side, he's got 2 units of wargs, so we'll hopefully be able to chew through any cavalry that we face today. Goblin Trackers up front, Snagga Archers, and more Snagga Archers. Now the fact that our balance of power, before anybody has died, our balance of power is quite high. That makes me think that he's got some barrow wights somewhere, but I don't see them. They would be hidden, of course, but they're not jumping out at me. So maybe he doesn't, but still, that would be unusual. For maybe it's the cave trolls that are causing the balance of power to do that then, but I couldn't be sure. You're seeing on the far side there, we're seeing some stakes pop up, which is always nice to know where your enemy is going to be deploying. Stakes are very helpful, but when you see this sort of thing happening, you know that the enemy is going to be deploying together and fighting side by side, which they've sort of done. They sort of have. Anyway, so we've got Telperion here with his Wardens of Ammon Lank, his Elders of the Elven King too. Sort of maybe getting in each other's way, but they needed to do that to deploy the stakes there. I'm sure he'll maneuver them around now. Hiriek there, and some Sindar, and Huntsmen. More Huntsmen, and some Bows of Emendwares. So when we thought we'd have the warg advantage with the cavalry advantage with our wargs, that's definitely not going to be the case. The Spears of Emendware are here, as are some Ents and Hiri Lang, and even the Palace Guard have shown up. Pretty messy boys there. And then Dol Amroth is being brought by Age Reforged. Yeah. He's got his Durin Ernal archers out front, backed up by some Mathillan men-at-arms, mixed in with the Doran Ernal pikes, and even some Doran Ernal swords. I never take the Doran Ernal swords myself. Black Swan renegades and some halberdiers side by side. And Tirith Air Lancers, 2 of them. Then the Swan Knights and the Arathirum. Haven Guard are there. That's not where he's got his general today. Neither in the Swan Knights. Is he in the Arathirum? He's not in the Arathirum. There he is. Yep, he is. Next, some Perit Hill Champions and the Knights of the Silver Swan. Once again, a lot of cavalry for the enemy. Erebor here can actually bring quite a lot of cav, and it looks like they've got a few of them. But he's got his Ironfoot crossbows out front. This is 104 and Truewear. Okay, cool. Never really seen this guy before. Erebor Legionnaires, Axe Throwers, Blacklock Engineers, Ironfoot Wargoats mixed in with the Ironfoot pikes. Pikes Hammer Guard there, and more Pikes and more Wargoats. And lastly, the Erebor Legionnaires. So they definitely do have the cavalry advantage. That's something that is abundantly clear. But I was pretty happy with what I had arrayed against me there. I knew that he could definitely unload a lot of crossbow fire into my archers and my spears behind them. The spears would definitely be a shame to lose, but the archers, I don't really care. Anything to use up a bit of ammunition. Over on the far side, are we seeing any barrow wights pop up? We're not, really, which is quite surprising. Goblin trackers, of course, dying in droves, as is the case whenever you face off against Mirkwood. But the Wardens of Amon Lank are opening up, and they've only got 5 volleys. So having them waste their fire on units like the Goblin trackers is definitely a good thing. As the Goblin trackers and Snagger archers pivot round to try and get some shots off. Dol Amroth is moving forward here to go toe-to-toe with the other Orc of the Misty Mountain Force, while I try to advance to see if I can solo up these enemies. The Ironfoot crossbows have reached a position where they can start firing, and I wonder what he's targeting there. It's... oh, that... okay, no, a few shots were fired. Yeah, he's going up and over into my Goblin Spearmen, which is a real shame because these Goblin Spears are armor-piercing. They're really, really good. They really are sort of a power that makes the Misty Mountains quite effective. And so it's a shame to lose them. But Heavy Goblin Archers, they're not really too worried about that. But if they can just lock these boys in place for long enough that I can get my Spearmen in to kill off a few of those Wargoats, fantastic. As good as the Heavy Goblin Spears are, though, fighting unaided for very long is not going to be good. Hammer Guard piercing on the way through. Good volley to the face, but they've carried it. And they are going to be swallowing up my forces. And my very powerful Heavy Goblin Spears are not going to last long. And they wouldn't have gotten too many kills for it. What were we at? 8 for 4. But that is kind of to be expected, considering how the fight on the far right is going here, with a lot of these archers just mincing through our boys. Blackwatch Legion there. Definitely not a match for the Palace Guard. Along the main line, though, Gundabad Guard being quite effective. Nice shields, good armour, and just generally decent skill. But at the end of the day, they are a spearman. The Trolls there fighting along, well, up against the Ents. Ents would definitely sort of carry that engagement. Let's see if we can find a nice, because I do like to just have the Ents and the Trolls in the same sort of picture. It looks quite nice. We'll see what those look like. And those Ents are totally unsupported though, and the Guardians of Carndum are little by little, you know, mincing their way through them. The Wargs over here going toe-to-toe with the Huntsmen, who are spear cavalry at the end of the day, so I think the Wargs are going to be losing that. They're very low in numbers now. And Telperion is able to just get around these men. The Goblin band there with their little spears are going to be able to deal with the Sindar if the Sindar stay there. I think I'm going to have to slow it down a little bit because we're missing a lot. Wargs coming forward through Claudio's line as the main clash between me and the Dwarves is about to begin. Good little Ironfoot Halberd line clashing up against my White Orc Fearmonger is just about the only unit of real quality that I've got here. And more Ironfoot Halberds, they will have a very easy job slicing through my Heavy Goblin Infantry though. My Trolls are being thrown forward onto the flanks to try and attack the Erebor Legionnaires, who are locked morale and just very good. But when they've got the heavy numbers of the Goblin Infantry, mixed in with the Cave Trolls, it's a tough mix to fight. Let's see if we can zoom on in just a little bit. Might just help us. Goblin King Bodyguard coming forward now, just to provide a bit more consistency to this line. Their morale buff as well, I'm sure will be useful. I don't know who's that's just died there, but I think it's probably, well, has lost half their forces, but I think it might be Erebor. Hammer Guard smashing their way through my poor crossbowmen, who might have been on guard mode. That looked like it was an interrupted shot. No, they were not on guard mode, so they have been interrupted there. Snagga Skirmishers, though, are in the back lines to throw some stuff at them, and the Trolls are coming on over to knock those Dwarves off their little Wargoats. And Dol Amroth and the Orcs of the Misty Mountains are just staring each other down right now. As I say, a lot of people have a big issue with this, but when you are... oh dear. When you are keeping the attention of a large enemy force, sometimes it's not a bad idea just to sit back and watch them. Now the issue is Amroth is not assisting anybody else with their cavalry, so it is an okay idea sometimes just to hold back and watch each other, just keep each other's attention and see how the fights around you go. Elges the Elven King knocking around some of these poor Guardians of Karn Doom, but they've got some decent armour and a nice shield, so they can take it on the chin for a little while at least. Wardens of Amon Lank having to be coming on forward here. Great troll killers, but up against the Hammer Guard and the Wardens of... the Guardians of Karn Doom, and now Gundabad Guard standing behind them. It's not going to be too fun. Snaga Archers there, taking these charges from the Deer Cavalry, but it's... with this sort of swarm that they've got and backed up by a few Goblin Band, it's a nice layer. It's pretty cool. I like the Goblin Band. A lot of people just don't really grab them, but they're fun. And these Goblin Trackers will be doing some damage to the Huntsmen, who lack a shield. Even the Sindar can take damage from these archers, but not much, but some. Mirkwood do not, of course, wear too much armor at the end of the day. So whatever ends up happening here, we're not really going to be ending up with too much manpower from either side. And this is definitely the point where you'd want to maybe come in for the attack. If you saw your allies struggling, you need to get stuck in before you end up with a surround situation. As you face off against a full army and then the remnants of the army from your right or left, it's definitely not going to be too good. Ironfoot crossbows there, able to really mess up my poor cave trolls. But, okay, no, the cave trolls are turning it around slowly. We'll see how that turns out. Damn, that's a lot of blood splurting up. Was that the bloomin'... Who did that? I don't know, somebody shot them. Must have been the other unit there. Well, no, there we are. I was looking for the Blacklock Engineers. It was them. Damn, that was a shame. Poor bloody cave trolls. Got absolutely torn to pieces by the Blacklocks. But on the front line, let's zoom on in a little bit more. You can see just how many more troops I've got all the way along, but those Erebor forces are holding well. Even in the centre, where I've got all of my elite forces, my Fearmongerers and my Goblin King bodyguard, we've come up against some issues with the Ironfoot Halberds and Ironfoot Pikes fighting side by side. My Blackback Mountain Berserkers, though, are great troll killers, and they will hurt this. And now that the frontline clash is really fully locked in, I can get around him and I can try to either throw some stuff at him or flank him a bit. Just smash him in the back. Axe throwers coming forward here, but as the axe throwers prepare to throw their axes at me, I'm going to throw my javelins at them. A few of these legionnaires are still standing though, and they will take down quite a few more of my goblin infantry before they are done. Getting my flank on with this unit of crossbows. Oh, good. Guard mode, point blank shot into the hammer guard there. Oh, I heard a charging horn, but I don't see it. That's fair, okay. These heavy goblin crossbows will get some good shots on the side, even if any shooting that I have not got coming at me on the front line makes me happy. If I can just hold their attention on a unit elsewhere. What are we at now? 50 for 45, so we are down. Some of these Knights of the Silver Swan coming in, unfortunately meeting the White Uruk Fearmongerers, who sent them packing. A lot of dead wargs and horsemen there, so that was definitely not a fun engagement for anybody. Great charge from the Arathirum, actually breaking a very large unit there of the Mount Uruk host. That is surprising. Yeah, that's a hell of a lot. And the bloody Swan Knights were right behind them, so that's a massive break. That is the type of break that like loses matches, unfortunately. Yeah, that's he's got his berserkers coming forward now, and they did suffer for it. They did take some casualties, but those guys are gonna be returning, and luckily they've not taken as many casualties as I thought they would. Over here, the Blackback Mountain Berserkers are holding a bit better alongside the Black Orcs of the Mountain. I didn't take any of these guys today. I do like them as units. I think they're quite fun. But the Tirathair marksmen, sorry, Lancers. Why do I keep saying marks? I think it's just because you don't really see the Tirathair Lancers around all that much. They're just able to run around freely, as all the wargs are really dealt with. And a few wargs over here, of course, but they're just having to help out King Rez. The Elven King Palace Guard do have an anti-cavalry bonus, though. Ooh, that's a general on that warg. So we need to keep him safe. We can't have him sticking his nose too close to the blooming Elven King Palace Guard for long. That will not end very well. Goblin trackers here. Getting some side shots on, on anything. I think they're targeting the Sindar, which is a solid shout, I think. Gosh. Still, okay, the Berserkers are actually holding it quite nicely. This is a real blob of a fight. And now that the Athelian men-at-arms and the Doran Ernal swordsmen have pushed ahead past the pikemen, they're having a bit of trouble. Those pikemen are definitely needed to be on the front line. White Orc Fearmongers have come in from the flank, and they're going to be surrounding this force. Haven Guard, though, will definitely stop that. Yeah, the Haven Guard are getting into the back of the White Orc Fearmongers, so that's not going to end too well. We're at 64 for 60 now. And, oh god, as bloody as this has been... Am I winning or am I losing? Oh god, I thought I was winning, but there's still a lot of Ironfoot pikes here. And they're pushing forward with these out-of-ammunition crossbows, who are going to be attacking my out-of-ammunition archers for a little while the Snaga just try to throw their javelins into their backs. Good captain of that unit, a White Uruk, is going to try his best, but he's not going to hold out for very long, surrounded by those Ironfoot dwarves. A few of those Berserkers being locked morale, of course, they'll fight to the finish. My general's still stuck in there with his bodyguard, as they try to deal with what's left of the pikemen there. Try to break them, hopefully, but my elites are remaining. Blacklock engineers are quite good in a fight, but they're not really what you need to go toe-to-toe against elites. They're really, like, once they've used up their ammunition, they can kill off generic forces pretty comfortably, but up against the Blackback Mountain Berserkers, that's not really their chosen target. Just trying to interrupt these crossbowmen, stop them from firing, so I've sent my 19 heroic heavy goblin infantry to try and do that. They're not going to really be able to mess them up for long, but any time helps. Especially if I'm escaping with my heavy goblin archers for some reason. I don't know where they're going, but they're going somewhere. Probably chasing a few of these men off the field. Dol Amroth, how you doing? Good stuff. This flank, even with the Haven Guard coming in, they've still managed to do a lot of damage to the right flank of Dol Amroth. And those Cave Troll Drummers are, of course, keeping everybody together. I don't really take them myself. And they're also serving as a bit of an ammo sponge here. A lot of people love to shoot at the Cave Troll Drummers. Now, when people do that with my Cave Troll Drummers, I love it. Because they will absorb arrows all day. And they're much smaller targets than they look as well. So, yeah, it's solid. And they're still going to be providing that same morale buff whether there's 1 troll or 8 trolls. So it doesn't really matter to me either way. So, as nasty as this looked for a while for King Rez, especially with all of their cavalry lurking around, there's still a few Sindar, I should say, but it does seem that he is going to be victorious over here against the forces of Mirkwood. A few Elders coming forward, but they're going to be getting pursued by the Hammer Guard. And the Sindar just coming in and out and in and out. This is good from Telperion. Just, even though he knows he's sort of lost this engagement, you just got to try and kill as many as you possibly can. Actually saying that, there's still 28 Palace Guard remaining. They're going to go down fighting. And maybe I was wrong. I think I maybe called it too early. The Hammer Guard are going to have to go and fight the Palace Guard, but the Palace Guard will win that fight, I think. Goblin Trackers, they're not going to do much. They'll take fire for a while. We'll see. What's this? Goblin Band, dearie me. Goblin Infantry coming around the side here. But really just trying to do as much damage to Dol Amroth as we can. As I start to assemble my forces, let's zoom out a little bit. Start to gather my boys. I've still got a few crossbows. Still got a bit of ammunition for them. Got the elites there. Chasing off these dwarves. And, yep, that's that unit broken. Anywhere else? These crossbowmen, that's still 64 of them. A few of them taking these javelins to the face, dropping there. Good stuff. Every little helps, and I'll be able to surround this unit in time and get it destroyed. that nice little shield will be an annoyance for my poor Snagga skirmishers, who really have quite a low attack value with that javelin. It's a really low amount of damage, but it's just the fact that it's AP. That's really what saves it and makes it quite effective. But with the Goblin King bodyguard coming forward, backed up by the black back mountain berserkers, and even I think we're actually shooting them in the back there. Yeah, some goblin crossbowmen might have actually gotten a shot or two in the back. That this one remaining dwarven force will be dealt with shortly, and then I'll need to gather my forces together to move in and fight Dol Amroth. So we're really just hoping that the remaining troops of Claudio do all that they can. These Blackback Mountain Berserkers will kill off a few more. Oh, that's the Mirkwood general drop there by a Hammer Guard. We did think the Hammer Guard would be all right up against the Palace Guard, but the Palace Guard I still thought would take that fight, and I think they are going to. But it's a heavy amount of damage from those boys. Hopefully the Gundabad Guard will just be able to shield a few hits from coming into the Hammer Guard and keep the Hammer Guard swinging for a little bit longer. Good flanking attack from these Goblin Trackers. You know, they might kill it. They killed a guy! They killed two guys! That's incredible. Very well done from them. And a bit more arrow fire coming in. So, as I say, if King Rez can just delete Telperian's force, whatever he's got left is just this nice addition. It's that would just be very, very useful for us. Heavy Goblin crossbows from Claudio, though, are still standing. And some of these halberdiers, I always do joke about the incredibly slow speed of the heavy goblin halberds. So they have managed to reach the front line now. And as good as the Pirate Hill champions are, in a frontal engagement with a phalanx type unit, this is not a fight that swordmasters are going to win. So he needs support, which he is going to get from these men at arms. Just anything coming in the back there. The Aratherum are coming in, but that's risky, especially with Claudio spotting it. This is oh god, oh. Okay, it's going okay. Yeah, that turned out all right, but that was too risky in my mind. Actually, so what that did, that was really good, was the charge came in, Claudio turned around to face it, and that allowed the Pirate Hill champions to close the distance, and in a very short amount of time, just do a massive amount of damage and break that unit. The fear caused by the Aratherum charge as well would have definitely hurt them, and the general surround that caused as well. So I think that is poor old Claudio. I think he is moving back. Oh no. We were trying to communicate, I think. But this is really where I should have said to him, hey, get back to me. Bring everything you've got. We need to fight together. Because I don't have much. I've got my elites of the Blackback Mountain Berserkers and my Goblin King bodyguard. I've got some crossbows, out of ammunition crossbows there. And some Snagga, who I think are out of ammunition too. These guys aren't, but there's only 3 of them. With crossbows. Some goblin spears. They've been in the fight for a very long time, totally exhausted, and only 2 of them remaining. And I think that's it. Yep. Oh, maybe something more coming down from here. Nope. Yeah. Good stuff. Well done, boys. So we've got something. We've got a force assembled, but I really could do with those Blackback Mountain Berserkers, sort of Black Orcs off the mountain. Yeah. I get myself turned around all the time. Could do with them coming on back, and probably could do with these Mountain Orc Berserkers too. Halberd's actually turned around there. This could be great. Nah, damn. If they could have killed that general, then that really, that could turn the tide, I think. Because I'm going to rely on breaking this force, really, rather than killing it all. Because the amount of pikes that they've got, they can just poke my elite units and just keep them at bay. And just deal with them very slowly. Over here, though, we've got King Rez, who has finally killed off the last of the elves, I think. Yeah, they're running off there. Goblin Trackers taking shots, though. Where the hell are they getting shot from? Dornernal archers. Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay. But yeah, if he can just gather up his men to help us out, we can maybe sandwich these boys. Some wargs remaining, just to try and kill off what we can from the Dol Amroth cavalry. Speaking of Dol Amroth cavalry, we've got a bit of it coming right at me. I'm not going to be able to stop that. That could break me. That really could break me. Steady, shaking. Boys, come on, don't break. Okay, good. I think they're on guard mode. Yeah, good stuff. Just Okay, the Arathirum are coming in now. Just absolutely, splitting those two black mountain berserkers, and which is unfortunate because I really need those guys. So the aim here for me is I need to have a spread. I need to really try to spread my guys out as best I can so that he cannot just turn this into a frontal phalanx fight, which will end me. Claudio's got his Black Orcs of the Mountains engaging these Ithelian men-at-arms, which is it's nice, and I'm trying to get my snag of skirmishers around for a bit more of a flank. These halberdiers are just doing what they can, keeping their units engaged over here, and yeah, I'm not wanting to take that engagement. Just move around, just try to make him make a mistake in terms of his positioning. Oh. Good, wow, that was very unfortunate. Yeah, absolutely shredding my poor boys there. And I think getting away for it too. Oh, goddamn. That's not good. That's really not good. We need to shoot these guys down with the crossbows. My snag of skirmishers will get eviscerated by a charge. I think, no, he's trying to slide away, and they've caught him. Come on, boys, drag him off that horse. Yes. Great. Now the general lacks that lance, so he's not really going to be able to do that very powerful charging. And that's helpful for us. These halberdiers, their morale is holding really well. But they are backed up by the orcs off Angmar, as they're able to get a bit of surround here on the Peridhel champions and the Dornernal archers mixed in with the Ithelian men-at-arms. So little by little we're going to be cleansing through that. Snagger archers here, definitely no match for the Haven Guard. So they're just trying to hold them in place for a little bit longer. The poor, damn it, the halberds are routing. That's the real sort of killing power of that force dealt with. Trying to, damn, I've had to sort of engage them there. I need to close that distance. A few of them have fought their way forward though. Just trying to come around there. As I say, don't want to take a frontal engagement if I don't have to. Even being this sort of elite, they're just able to keep us at bay. Especially when these halberds start getting in. You know, mixing in halberds with pikes, things start to get very frightening very quick. My heavy goblin crossbows here, who do have ammunition still, are, I think I'm probably targeting the halberds. Are we? Yep. Looking like it. Yeah. Oh no, these pikemen here. I think just whatever I can get a shot on. What we at, generally 91 for 83. My Goblin King bodyguard have been a lot more successful here, and really they've been able to just launch themselves right into the middle of this pikeman force. And I'm just hoping that my general doesn't end up biting the bullet. But yeah, being this close, we will be able to kill this unit, even though it's currently not looking too good for us. But getting surrounded by the archers and getting backstabbed, or Lord forbid they still have ammunition, that could be very unpleasant. I think they do. Oh, no mercy. Good stuff there. Yep, got my one remaining berserker, just slicing these guys in half from behind. Blackback Mountain Berserkers totally surrounded now. They'll fight to the end. They are locked morale, but this is not a fight that they can win. And with Angmar over here destroyed. Oh, good. Not entirely destroyed. We've got one more hammerer, who's going to be knocking these guys around. Yep. Oh, good stuff. That guy was getting back up, and his buddy, who jumped in to sort of save his ass, just got squashed. But the Haven Guard, once the Haven Guard get toe to toe with this guy, it'll be finished. Unless they really want the Dornernal Swordsman to finish it off for them, which he very well could. Ah, no. One slash from the Haven Guard took him out. And but those Hammer Guard did very well. Killed the Palace Guard. Well, helped kill the Palace Guard. Killed off a lot of the Elders of the Elven King. You know, it was nice. That's my general taken out there. Still got my crossbows just firing away. As I say, this is the point where you know defeat is coming, but it's just being better and trying to kill off as many enemies as you can. Overall, though, I was pretty chuffed with it. We were definitely I definitely had built my army quite nicely to take on the dwarves. And then Dol Amroth is certainly not a bad enemy to fight after that. I was chuffed a bit, so yeah, I was able to use up all of my ammunition for these crossbows. These haven't used up their ammunition, but they're a very small unit, and then of course tried to heroically charge the Peridhel champions, but no, they boys ran out. So I really crafted my army to take on the dwarves and then kill off a lot of heavily armored humans. So that was good for it. You know, it really shows you that, yeah, army composition. I don't think army composition is the be all and end all as it is in like Warhammer Total War. You know, I think a lot of the time when I play Warhammer Total War, if I've not got the right army composition for an enemy's army composition, I'm done. Just throw in the towel. Whereas, at least in Reforged, you can have a terrible army composition for the fight, and you can still do the right thing with it, and you can make it work. But yeah, anyway, Goblin King Bodyguard, chuffed to bits with that. They don't usually rack up that many kills for an elite unit. You know, they're more there. I more take them just for their morale buffing effect, and I think they're a good safe place for me to have my general. The Berserkers, though, a lot of people do actually prefer to put their general in with the Berserkers, but Berserkers were definitely for me facing off a lot more against phalanx units, whereas the Bodyguard got to fight, you know, sword and board. So the Berserkers were really just sort of kept back a lot of the time, which was unfortunate. Fearmongerers there, they were facing phalanx to phalanx. They had a good fight. And so I would have liked to see them kill these dwarves man for man, but all in all, I'm okay with that. Berserkers, Mountain Orc Berserkers, they did good. As we saw that one heroic guy at the end there, I was chuffed bits with him. Heavy Goblin Infantry there, 37 is quite nice. You'd really want more than 10, but it's just the way that it goes. You're never really going to be expecting too much from them. 11 from one of those standard Goblin Infantry, those are quite impressive. I used my Heavy Goblin Spears, I really used them improperly today. I should have fallen everything back, but instead I kind of had my most important unit, one of my most important units were right there in the thick of the fight. You know, they were taking the first brutal assault, so that was a bit silly of me, I think. Cave Trolls there doing not too bad at all. Well, actually, saying that, really you'd want more than 18, but one of them did get minced by the Blacklock Engineers, so that could be the case. Snag of Skirmishers there, 107, nay bad. Even 61 you can be okay with when you're fighting dwarves. Goblin Archers there, oh wow, 73, good stuff for those heavy Goblin Archers, and then 27, 55, not bad either. 155 there is pretty good, but they did get all of their ammunition out, so you'd really expect them to. And Claudio there, Bolg's Champions doing not so bad, up against a lot of Dol Amroth cavalry, so you know Dol Amroth melee cavalry is about as good as they come. Warg Riders there, yep, certainly not too bad either. Mountain Orc Host, facing off against phalanxes there, so that wasn't fun for them, I'm sure. The Cave Troll Drummers, they're not there to get kills. Berserkers, hey, yeah, pretty good, 184. Goblin Crossbows, 121 is quite nice. You'd really want more than 46, but they were probably shut down quite effectively. Didn't really see that. Mountain Orc Berserkers. Why am I overpronouncing the word orc? I don't know. But yeah, cool. 77's nice. 44, you'd want a bit more. Heavy Goblin Halberds there, not bad, but then 31 for the poor Fearmongers. That's a shame. They were probably just outranged by pikes, I suspect. But yeah, so King Rest there, really nice. Fighting Mirkwood in an open field when they can kind of fall back from you is very frightening, and I think he handled that very well. I think he had a cool army for it. You know, there were no Barrow Wights. I like the amount of like Goblin Band he used. That was cool. We were a very Goblin heavy army today, weren't we? Yeah. So no, that was nice. And then used his archers quite effectively. Used his wargs quite nicely. That's one thing I really wish I had brought a unit of wargs just to help shut down the enemy cavalry a bit. But then what would I have ditched for it? I don't know. I'd probably ditch some infantry for some wargs. That could have been good. So all in all, yep, quite nice. Telperion there, as I say, he did everything sort of right there, but it was something that happened in a battle that I had just recorded, but would have been released about a month ago by this point. Elves are always going to get sort of outnumbered by evil men and orcs, and not just outnumbered man for man, they're going to get outnumbered unit for unit, so you can't have a frontline engagement. You know, and that was really, Telperion just ended up getting surrounded. He used his cavalry very well, though, and he made the surrounds kind of work for him, which was impressive. Dol Amroth there, Silas, and he he brought it home, which was great. Very nice charging just to break Claudio's units. I think it was that first major break of the Mountain Orc coast. I think that was the thing that finished it, if I'm honest. That was pretty impressive, and good use of cav throughout, I would say. And then 104 Druer, yeah, really, you know, charged me down, which is a pretty ballsy move. But I had a lot of archers and I had a lot of crossbows. So like he did realize, yeah, I've got to attack. I think maybe he messed up. We didn't notice it, but I think he did goof up a little bit with his war goats, maybe. But his hammer guard were very effectively used, just stopping my crossbows, because my crossbows were the main thing that was actually like killing his dwarves. So yeah, but all in all, thank you guys very much.